Okay, I'm calling this one the biggest bang for your buck, time-wise. This is mobility, time-wise mobility. So again, it's a humid day, even though it's been pretty nice. I see everybody coming on now. So I'm calling this one the biggest bang for your buck, okay? We're gonna do some specifically joint mobility moves today that are really aimed at that. You'll see some of the ones that we've done repeated, but so let me just start from the beginning of when you get up, okay? So when you get up, you walk around, correct? Okay, so walk around, but make sure you do some backward walking, but make sure it's a safe passage. Do you see what I'm doing? So I'm walking around, but what am I doing? I'm doing a little hesitation. See that hesitation? That hesitation right there. Every time I hesitate, going front or going back, and you see, I'm just bringing my hand, my thumb here to my shoulder. I'm not going way up. And as I walk forward, I hesitate. Now this is going to be very important here in just a minute to my next moves. Okie dokie. So this hesitation starts to put a little bit more of a load on your joints, okay? In a good way. So now I'm going to cross over and hesitate. See that? Then I'm going to step forward and hesitate. I know it. Then I'm going to step to the middle. Now I crossed over with this leg. So this is going to be the biggest bang for your buck, mobility work. And instead of being in a hurry to just walk around and get everything going, do some of these big walks with a hesitation. And I'm bringing in my upper body. So whenever I stepped over like that, I'm hesitating. I'm dropping my shoulders, breathing in through my nose, okay? Now I'm going to take the back leg and go all the way up. So that can be, some of you are like, oh, what is she doing? What is she doing? That's all I'm doing. That kind of motion. So here we go, back, hesitate. See, I'm bringing my thumb to my shoulder, and then I'm going to start turning my chin. So now I've done a couple of passes. Now I'm hesitating as I'm dropping my center of gravity, okay? Breathing into the nose, and I'm turning, and I'm looking that way, okay? Then I'm going to come back to neutral, and I'm going to cross over again. Cross over, and then we'll do the other side. So here, and then here. And then I'm going to step all the way up. So here and here, looking. Okay, then I step to the middle and I back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Now we're going to go the other side. This kind of pattern walking with a hesitation starts to wake up your joints, your proprioceptive centers. That's your mechanism for keeping your balance. So see, as I'm here, I'm going to go like this, thumb to the shoulder. I'm going to take a big breath into the nose, drop my chin. So this, what I'm just going through right now, I'm going to turn. I'm going to turn and look that way. And then I'm going to take my back leg and bring it all the way up here and hesitate. See that? And then bring them together and then step into the middle. So pattern walking with hesitations. Then you start to elevate, still hesitating. So this is the biggest bang for your buck. Mobility work. I'm barefooted. And as I elevate my knee on this pass, so before we were just doing hesitations. Now we're elevating and hesitating, okay? And you don't have to do tons of these, but you get a sense as I'm elevating my knee, hesitating, open my hands, give myself a hug, put my foot down, okay? So right there, I'm starting to bring my knee up. So right now, you say rib cage up, and it really helps you extend your back. Now I'm gonna bring that knee up. So I'm elevating. So now I'm forcing myself onto my challenged leg to hold my balance. So I'm elevating and hesitating. Then I step out, okay? And as you're doing that, if you can do a crossover and then open, that's what I'm trying to get you to do, and then step up. You only do 1 or 2 steps. Okay, walk back, take a big breath, step to the side before we do our last pass, and start to do what with the hip? Okay, if any of you have a tight hip, wonky hips, I think Marilyn called it, she said she couldn't be on today. If you have wonky hips, replaced hips, arthritic hips, whatever, hamstring issues, when you start to go into this move right here, see how I'm hip hinging? Then I'm gonna go back and finish up my hesitation, walking. I'm calling this the biggest bang for your buck, because now that I've gone through the 2 different phases, which would be walking with a hesitation, and then walking with a hesitation and a lift with the knee. You see how I'm doing like this? So I can tell you, I know that I have a hip here that I am messing with, and it's talking to me. So if you have a joint, whether it's your hip, your knee, your feet, whatever, your shoulder. So as I do these, this is one of the biggest ways, biggest bangs for your buck that you can do to help your tricky or your wonky hip. You do repeated, I don't go low, but I'm doing a hip hinge. I'm breathing deep. And every time I come up, I say rib cage up. Okay, it's these little moves for people with joint issues that you gotta attend to. That's why I call this the biggest bang for your buck. So I'm focusing in on some of these mobilities. So I can tell you the very first time I went into this move right here, whoa, this was just talking to me. And now it's not, it's worked itself out just in those few hip hinges with a rib cage up, my chin is tucked. And as you see me come forward, I'm coming forward with an extremely extended neutral posture back, okay? So once I've done that several times on one side, then I'm gonna go back to my hesitation and lifting, okay? So do a series of what we're doing here if you want the biggest bang for your buck. Now, as I do this down here, all I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna swing anything, I'm just crossing and I'm dropping my shoulders, breathing, hesitating as long as I feel I can. Somebody will say, the minute I say that, somebody will say, well, how long are we supposed to hold that up there? And I will say, how long can you hold it up there? I know, this is when you want to slap me. Okay, are you ready? So this is my challenge leg. It's not as easy for me to get it high up because I'm really working to keep my balance here and to not lock my leg there. I went too much that way and I couldn't pull it back. See that? So bring it back up. Keep your knee soft. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that crossover. This is so challenging. Take a breath. See, I'll come back down again. I'm trying to hold it because I'm trying to make these joints wake up. I'm trying to make all my proprioceptive centers wake up. See this? See this? Yeah. It's very difficult to bring those hands in on a tricky side. So even though this hip is talking to me, this is your working, one side versus the other side. Okay, so now go back to just normal walking, hesitation walking. Remember, hesitation walking, hesitation walking, hesitation walking. So I'm going to show you one of the best ways now, since I woke everything up, to help you with your hamstring, to help you with your knee, to help you with foot dropping issues. Yeah, do you see what I did? I stepped out, and then I'm going to do with my feet on the ground. I have my hands here in my W, and I'm going to go out with my knee and around, make a tiny circle. So drop your chin, say rib cage up, my palms are up, I'm stepped forward, and what am I going to do? I'm going to take my knee and act like I'm drawing a circle, and then come back. So this is what I meant by biggest bang for your buck as far as joints is the hesitation walking, because I wanted to do that first. Then I did the elevation, and now what am I doing? I'm doing a circular motion, like I'm making a circle with my knee. I did 3, maybe 4, and I'm going to step back. I'm going to walk, walk, walk. I'm going to do these. I'm going to do 3 at a time. Okay. So you ready? Okay. Pay attention to how you're moving. You step forward a little wider than normal. So that means your heels down and back. Your rib cage is up. So after all that prep work that I did with the hesitation walking, your feet now should be going straight on. And now I've stepped out. My palms are up, shoulders are down. I'm pointing my thumbs backward. That's very important. Breathe through the nose. Now here I go with the knee. Watch, watch. See this? And then I come back in. So it's a little circular, like you're drawing a circle and you're going to the outside. Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't hurt. You shouldn't feel any kind of, stinging or any kind of issues. What you will feel is your propensity to want to move your foot. So I'm saying keep your foot still, keep your heel down and back. You see how I'm circular, I'm going out. So this is a motion that is addressing everything as far as knee stability, okay? Put those thumbs back, take a breath. Oh, I think I did more than 3. Kathy's rolling her eyes, I know she is. Okay, just like this, just like this, just like this. So we went outside with the circle. See, I'm going point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Yeah. Now come back to your stance. You ready? I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to put them behind my head. And so what does that mean that I need to be doing with my head? Not protraction. I want to go retract. So I want to retract with my chin tucked. And I'm going to take the other, I'm going to do both of them. So start with whichever one you want and step. Put the heel down and back, retract that head back. And now I'm going to circle to the inside with my knee. See that? Inside with my knee. So I'm stepped out. My heels are dropped. Inside with my knee. Say rib cage up. Pull those elbows back. I know. Let's do 6. I said I was going to do 3 each. Let's do 6. I think I'm there. Here we go. Rib cage up. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Bring those hands down. Bring the leg back. Big breaths. Yeah. You can step, 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 just to kind of get yourself oriented. Okay, you ready? Other leg now, a little wider than a normal walking step. We circled out. Make sure your toes are pretty forward. We're gonna pull our hands right back again. Our fingertips go on the back part of our head. And as you push back, do not lift your chin. Tuck your chin. Soften up your knees. Okay, are you ready? We're gonna go inside and around. Say ribcage up. You're gonna go inside and around. Don't be surprised if you get off balance a little bit. Inside, say ribcage up and around. Here we go, ribcage up. Then push the knee inside and then back. Push your head back, push your head back, push your head back, push your head back. Okay, okay. Last one, last one, last one. And come back around. Bring those elbows down, push back. Now we're gonna speed it up, okay? So we did this whole first thing, and I'll go back through some of them. Now we're gonna speed it up. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna walk, 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 but we're toeing in, okay? Don't put your heel down. You ready? The midfoot is down, the midfoot is down, the midfoot is down. So when you do this barefooted, and you know, you're doing a specific task walking. Midfoot down, midfoot down. Now we start to go right in through all those knee stability structures. Then come back, come back, come back. And now we're gonna go cross right there. And where am I landing on my feet? Yeah, everybody should be screaming at the screen. You're on your midfoot. My heel. See, I could put a little piece of paper under my heels is the point. Then I'm going to take the back leg and come way up here and then come back. And when you do that, you might get off balance a little bit. That's okay. You're supposed to, okay? So now I'm going to go over here. And where am I at on my feet? Midfoot. And then I'm going to come straight up here and come back over. And I might do that several times, okay? Okay, so once we've done hesitation walking, hesitation elevation walking, and then pattern walking with arms up, turning. If you did all of what we just did, turning your head carefully, not fast, hugging yourself, opening, hugging yourself, opening. Oh my goodness. That's the biggest bang for your buck right there. As far as joints go, as far as knees goes, hips goes, etc. Okay, address your chair. I'm right here, right here. And I went to the side with one side. I'm gonna go to the other side while I'm addressing my chair here. I'll turn here so you see what I mean. So before I was going over here, because this is the tight hip that I have. This is my replaced hip. This is the hip that's starting to me. So now I'm gonna go to the other side, okay? So as I push my butt back, keep my chin tucked. Now, I'm not going real far, but I'm gonna just do about six or so of hip hinge, push back with the heels, and I'm going to do a counter move with my shoulders down, and I'm gonna keep my chin tucked. And as I push into that hip, into the opposite hip, because we're finishing up this whole segment here, okay, push that hip back, keep my chin tucked, big breath, come back, drop your shoulders, big breath, come back, drop your shoulders, big breath. I think that's more than 6. Kathy will let me know. Okay, so after I've done that, now I've done both of those sides on the side lunge, correct? Now I put my hands on the chair. So I'm going through some of the moves that are going to give you the biggest bang for your buck as far as mobility. Okay, so here I am. I want you to notice how I got into that position, okay? Drives me nuts whenever I see somebody comes over, you see, I can touch my toes. and they go from a straight stance and they go all the way down and touch the toes. And I'm supposed to be proud of them. You know what? That will put your back out. You want to touch your toes. However, bend the knees, push your butt back, get down into position. And for our position right now, it will be the chair or ankles, whichever. Chair or ankles, chair or ankles. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm keeping my chin tucked. And as I go down to my ankles, I drop my butt. And then I come to the chair. Then I go back down into the heels, drop my butt, keep my chin tucked, then come to the chair. Okay? So now I'm bending, 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 in through the knees, hip hinge, take a big breath. Now I'm going to start doing bent. Now I'm going to start to straighten. Now I'm going to bring myself down. But I did not all of a sudden go and touch my toes with my legs straight. I get into position and I get out of position with my knees bent. Okay, so push, hips back, come down, come down, come down, go all the way down to your ankles if possible. Drop your butt a little more if possible. Keep your chin tucked. Push, push, push your butt down just a little bit more. And now put your hands on the chair. And now bring your upper body into your legs. Okay? And you should be, so my stretchy leg is my knee replace side. Okay, and I'm down there for just a few seconds. Then I come back to my elbows, right there on my chair. And I might add, if you don't have a pad on your chair, this would be a really good time to use your little balance pad. Put your elbows on that chair. Okay, so my elbows are down on the chair and my elbow is straight under my shoulder. I'm not back here and I'm not way in here. So I hope you see that. Okay, I'm going to keep my chin tucked. Then I'm going to step back with one leg and I'm going to push one knee into the chair. So in this position, you should be feeling a big stretch coming up through your calf and through your soleus by bending the knee a tiny bit and then straightening it. Bending the knee a tiny bit and straightening it. And so right about now, if I were with you, I'd be checking your shoulders. Make sure you drop those shoulders down. See how I'm bending and straightening? So I'm bending the knee, then I'm straightening the knee, and I'm staying right into this position. Keep my chin tucked. Yeah, just do that a couple of times. Then you bring that leg up. Keep your elbows down there. See how I'm pushing my butt back? Stay right in there. Now drop your shoulders. Take the other leg back. See how my knee is almost touching the chair, basically? Okay, make sure your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Pull that chin in. Take a big deep breath. Now, bend that knee in the back. Now straighten it. See, don't sit on it. Meaning don't hold a static hold. This is more of getting mobility through dynamic. That means moving measures. See how I'm bending? And I'm straightening. I'm dropping my shoulders every time. I do with the knee in. I do the heel down. I say rib cage up. I drop my shoulders. Yes. Take a big breath. Push, push, push. Hold down there. Just a couple more. Bend the knee. Press. Drop your shoulders. Pull your chin in. Okay. Take a big breath through your nose. And you're going to bring that leg back up, and now you're going to fold one more time. See, I'm holding on to the back of the chair. I'm dropping my butt. Dropping my butt. I'm in a normal stance. Okay, push your butt down, push your butt down. push your butt down, push your butt down. Take a big breath. Take a big breath and then come up. Now pull yourself really into your upper body, into your legs. And now you just do a little toe up, switch, toe up, while you're holding this position. See, toe up, 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 toe up. Now you come back to the elbows. Now you slip one leg back and the other leg back, and you don't have to go straight-legged, but what you do have to do is put your chin in, drop your shoulders, and if just hang out there for a little bit, and if you want to, pull your legs back just a little bit more and just hang out here for a few seconds, okay? So now I'm doing a really good core. I'm doing a chair plank, okay? So drop your butt just a little bit, drop your shoulders, take a big breath through your nose, hang out here, just take 3 big breaths. Through the nose, keep your chin tucked, breath, and back, and now pull that leg in, pull that leg in, and now you're ready to round your back and pull your shoulders to your ears. Yeah, round your upper back, your shoulders. Then push back. So it's push pull. Okay, keep your chin tucked. So you can go up with your chin here and then you drop it, go under. Okay, so tuck that tail under. Bring the shoulders to your ears. And you're doing that nice C, the shape of a C with your spine. And then you push it back. So it's like a cat camel. And if you want the biggest bang for your buck, and that's what I'm capitalizing on this morning, is these moves that are the biggest bang for your buck as far as mobility goes, and waking up all your joints. See how I'm doing cat camel? So as I go back into it, my ears, my shoulders come to my ears, I'm pushing back. Now I'm ready. Push back and come up. Take your hands up as far as you can, up over your head. Put your hands together like that. Some of you have a really hard time doing this, and I understand that. So take a wider stance, number 1, because now you have your hands engaged and you're not holding on to anything, okay? So big breath. You're gonna bring those hands up and you're gonna try to elevate. You're gonna try to elevate your elbows. You see what I'm doing? I'm trying to elevate my elbows there. See that? Yeah, keeping my chin tucked. Bringing my hands right back here. Okay? And then I'm gonna come back down. Then I'm gonna put my hand right here. Then I'm gonna rotate and open that chest. So bend your elbow if you need to. And you see how I've got one leg straight and one leg bent? Yes. So it's open, 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 open. Keep your chin tucked. Drop your shoulders. Yes, yes, and yes. And then come back. So I'm right here. And I'm gonna just bend one knee, straighten one knee, open, drop your shoulders. Open, 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 open. Take a big breath. Big, big open shoulder. And then come back down. So when you do that move, opening your shoulder like that, make sure that you have dropped your shoulder into your back. That's a very important thing to do. Okie dokie. Okay, now we're gonna just turn around. Biggest bang for your bucks. Moves for mobility. Sit to stands. We're gonna do it a little different this time. So this time, I'm going to open my feet wider than the chair. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna put my toes out, okay, as far as I feel I can. So now I'm pointing my toes out just a bit, okay? And then I'm gonna push my butt back, keep my knees wide open, come down, come down, come down, come down, come down. And I'm gonna touch the backs of my legs and then come back up. I'm gonna touch the backs of my legs and then come back up. Say rib cage up. Big breath, through the nose. Right there, and come back. And again, my toes are at about a 45 degree. Open, open. Yes. Take a big breath. Stay right down. You're touching the back part of your legs on your chair. You have your pillow on your chair. That's a 2-inch drop or a 2-inch lift. Okay, keep your toes out. Take a big breath, big breath. Through your nose, keep your shoulders down. Yeah, stay with me. Okay, come down. Yeah, just like that. So you should be feeling this more on the inside of your leg if you did that right. Okay. Big breath. I'm sitting on the edge of the chair. So now I'm going to just put my hands here. I'm going to drop my shoulders and I'm going to really try to put my elbows together. So I'm right here, toes are out. I'm trying to really push my elbows together while my shoulders are heading down. Take a big breath. Big breath. Big breath. Yeah, stay there for just a few seconds. Shoulders are down. You're trying to make your elbows touch, even though I know we're not. That's what we're trying to do. And then we come back in, okay? Now we're gonna go inside with our feet. Yeah, and we're gonna stand up like that. So I'm on a high sit down because I have a little pillow here, right? My little balance disc. This is 2 inches up. Now look what I've done with my feet. See that? So I've turned my toes in. They're still wide, still stay wide with your legs, but turn your toes in as far as you can. Okay, so I'm gonna hip hinge, and I'm gonna come, and I'm gonna lift. And I'm gonna keep my toes in. See, my toes are in. I'm gonna push my butt back, and I'm gonna carefully just approach the chair. You don't have to sit down, but I'm keeping my toes in, okay? And I'm just coming into this mobility move. So we're internally rotating. And so careful if you have tricky hips, okay? This is just trying to get into those adductors, okay? As we do a hip hinge, and we don't go all the way down. If I went all the way down, that would be pushing it, okay? So we just want to internally rotate with our feet. So you're feeling pressure on the outsides of your feet as you're coming into this. One more, just one more. Take a breath. Here we go. And then we come back. Okie dokie. Good, good. Now we're going to go straight on with our feet. However, we're going to bring one foot back to the chair, one foot out here. See that? So it's a split stance. And we're gonna, this is my knee replace side, so it's gonna be tight. But this is such a good thing for me to do to keep my mobility. So look what I'm gonna do. One foot is out, one foot is back, and I'm going to push the butt back, and I'm going to come down and sit. Now, you have a 2-inch lift right here. We're gonna take this pillow out in just 1 second. So as I'm into this move, when you go to stand at this point, if you have anything tricky in a joint anywhere, use your hands to come into this right here. And you're going to be pushing into the whole foot, and then come back up. So you shouldn't feel this in your knee. Where you're going to feel it is right back here more, and right here, okay? In the back foot. So I'm going to push the butt back, keep my chin tucked. I'm going to come down into this down position. Then I'm gonna come back up the same way. So I'm gonna push right there and come back up. So it's a big bang for your buck as far as knee motion, hip motion. So I'm gonna press back up. I'm gonna do 3 times. And then if you feel it, when you're coming back up into this position right here, when you come right to here and you're really putting the pressure on the foot, it should be right here, not the knee, where you're feeling it, okay? Okay, switch. So now I got one leg back, now I've got one leg forward. So yeah, we're sitting down and standing up a little differently, taking the time to do all the locomotion of a hip, a knee, a foot. Okay, push the butt back. That's number 1. Number 2, I have my little pad here. Now, if we take that out, we have 2 inches we got to go down, see? So I'm going to go push back. I'm pushing back into the heel of the back leg, and then I do a little sit. So this is my hip replace side over here. Now, I'm going to come up with this foot out here. I'm going to use my hands. Drop your shoulders. Take a breath. So right there, when you're into the lift and you're pushing into the back heel, that's when you should be feeling it in those legs. And the one leg back here, right back here. And then you come up. And you will not feel that if you don't push your butt back, okay? So push your butt back, go into the heel, help yourself down if you need to, or try to make it down there with no hands. Look, Mom, no hands. Okay, are you ready? Drop your shoulders. Don't do a jerk to get yourself up. I'm trying to do these different stances in sitting and standing to engage your muscles around your knee. Around, don't do that little, I can't get up without momentum. No, don't do that. Use your hands here. Drop your shoulders, push back into the heel of that back leg. And once you're there, then you come up, then you go down. Take a big breath, exhale, and come back down. Keep those feet up, separated. So it's a split stance. Standing, coming back down, standing, coming back down. Okay. Take a big deep breath. I know it. Stand up. And here I am. Take my pillow out. Biggest bang for your buck. Put that pillow down. Use your chair. Because one of the biggest bangs for your buck that you can do. So those of you that were with me on the get-go, on the beginning, got all that work that we did with hesitation, with elevation, and now we're gonna step it up as far as the biggest bang for your buck. One of them, there's 2 or 3, is standing on a very compromising surface and standing with one leg. And see, I have my hand here. Open your hand if you're going to put your hand on a wall or on a chair or whatever. You know why? And do you see what I'm doing? I'm doing tiny little hip hinges. So you might not see that, but that's what I'm doing. This foot is hanging out here and I'm doing a tiny little hip hinge. And I got my hand here, but my hand is open. Why? Because if I grip it, I will grip too tight. I want it there just as an insurance. I want you to do the most of the work with your leg, okay? Say rib cage up, open your hand, drop your shoulders. Okay, bend that knee, bend that knee. See, it's just little tiny pulses. See that? It's a little tiny pulse. Look at your toes. Some of you are gripping. Open your toes. Come down on that whole foot. Open your hand. Yes. Take a breath. Keep your chin tucked. Say rib cage up. Little tiny pulses. Little tiny. Just a couple more. Man, I'm feeling it. Woo. Take a big breath. Yeah. Big breath. Okay, just one more. Okay, step off. I know it. Ah. Okay, turn your toe out. So if you were stepping on that pad and your foot was in a forward position and you were watching your mechanics, woo, you start to feel a lot of built up tension. Yes. Okay. Are you ready? Take a big breath through your nose. Put the other foot on that pillow. Okay. Whatever it is. If you aren't ready to use a pillow, that's fine. Put your foot on the floor, but put it correctly straight. Got it? Then I'm going to come up like I'm going to step up, but I just bring that leg up. We've already practiced this. Okay, my knee is soft. Shoulders are down. And if you want to add a little more complexity, challenge, you see what I'm doing? All I'm doing is bringing my leg back, bringing it forward. But at the same time, I'm doing a hip hinge, a knee bend, a straighten. So I'm doing just a little pulsing, okay? And if you can do them both at the same time, well, great. But make sure your positioning is correct. Say rib cage up, big breath through the nose. So if you did one or the other, just hold your foot up here and bend and straighten. Because it might be too much for you to do, you know, 2 or 3 things like that, okay? Yeah, kind of like rubbing your belly and patting your head. There's some value to that, actually. See what I'm doing? I'm doing little pulses. See that? I'm starting to feel it now. See that? So I'm hip hinging and I'm bending my knee a little, but I gotta make sure that my whole foot is really pressing into the pillow, okay? So doing something like this is one of the things, one of the top big bangs for your buck moves, but make it count. Stay on here for a little bit. And you might say, oh, well, how long? And I'm gonna say, well, how long can you? Yes, open that foot. Make sure that you're not just on your front foot. Make sure you're on your heel and your midfoot and your ball of your foot, the whole foot, down and up, down and up, down and up, and then step off. And if you feel the tension, then you step out, just like that. See that? So I've stepped out, and then I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna reach as far as I can this away. See that? And if you turn your toe out, like I'm doing right here, and you try to reach this way, you're only gonna be able to go so far, okay? So reach with this hand as far as you can back, but this hand, don't turn at your waist. Don't turn, turn only at your waist. Don't go out of the column with your hip. See, my shoulder is right above my hip. See that? I'm not leaning is what I'm meaning. So I'm reaching, I'm pushing, then I come back down. And we'll do it with the other side. So that's one of those moves. That's the biggest bang for your buck moves. A lot of people put way too much. They think they have to reach really far. That's not the point. So I didn't do it with this side, so let's do it with this side. So one foot straight, one foot is turned. Then I'm gonna reach the opposite direction. See that? This is only gonna go so far, unless I do this, which I don't want you to do that. So you're right here, shoulders, hips, knees. See that? Turn, you push back, and you take this one as far as it can go, but drop your shoulders. So you're really pulling, really pulling, really pulling, really pulling. Take a big breath. Really pull, pull. Yeah, just 3, 2, 1. And bring it back down. Now you do the little swingy thing. I know it. So these are the biggest bangs for your buck moves for mobility, okay? So anytime you do mobility moves, balance moves, etc., always take a look at your posture. Take a look, take a feel, take a readout for where are you with all your joints lining up. So this one that I'm going to do right now, and then we're going to be heading out to an end on this one. You're going to stand just about shoulder width, okay? Now, if your thumbs are up like this, so that's good, but if you take and really pull those thumbs down, see, with my arms not bent, my chin is tucked, but pull those thumbs really back and down, okay? That's gonna really have an effect on your shoulder openness. Now I'm gonna start that very, very good rotational move through my shoulders. My knees are soft, number one. My feet are on the floor, toes are forward, but my thumbs are really back. And if this is very difficult for you, try not to bend your elbows. Just lower the whole shebang. See, just go down a little lower. Then if you get your breath back, then bring it back up here. So why is this one of the moves that's the biggest bang for your buck moves? This is and we're going to do it with our palms down as well. This move, if you line yourself up and you don't flop your hands around from your elbow, this is coming from the shoulder. This is trying to help reset a lot of stuff in your shoulder. Your shoulder is a very mobile joint that gets out of whack. So I'm trying to help you to reset that in a really safe and a really good way. But you're gonna push to do this. Okay, 5 more. Here we go. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to do about 30. Kathy probably will tell me that I've done more than 30, but anyway, I'm talking. Okay, bring them down. And you're like going, oh my gosh, I know it. That's why it's one of the biggest bangs for your bucks on your movement scale, okay? So we've done a lot of openness, a lot of hesitation, a lot of rotation today. Shake out your hands. We did this. Now we're gonna stand, hip hinge, and we're gonna do this. See this? See this, how I'm turning? See how I'm turning? I turn my thumb up and then back in, up and then back in, up and then back in, up and then back in. Thumb up, in, thumb up, in, thumb up, in. Keep your chin tucked. You're pushing back into your butt. Big breath. And good. Okay, shake out, shake out, shake out. We are our hands up. And one of the biggest bangs for your bucks that I will, as we're doing one of these last moves, is I want to encourage you that when you're out walking around your yard, when you're walking in the mall, when you're doing any walking, do part of the walk just by opening your hands. When you do that, oh my goodness, what a difference in a rounded shoulder issue, okay? So I'm gonna encourage you to do that. Okay, now, instead of a wide stance like this, that's okay if you feel more secure that way. That's okay. If it's easier for you to keep a proper neutral spine, that's good. I'm going to do a bit of a split stance, okay? And then in the middle, at about 15, I'm going to change. So now my thumbs are forward, my shoulders are down, and I'm saying rib cage up, soften my knees. And then I start the rotation. If I were with you right now, and we were having a little personal training, I would stand behind you, and I have one hand on top of your shoulder. I'd have the other hand on your shoulder blades. Because some of you, when you do this, you are raising your shoulders too far up, and you're not keeping the shoulder blades down together. So you want to use this, you're doing this rotation all through that shoulder joint. However, you got to keep the shoulders down and the blades in. See how I just switched? And if this is getting too much, what do? Well, instead of just bending your elbows, drop the whole thing. Don't do it quite so high. So your first goal would be to do 30 forward, 30 with your palm down, 30 with your palm up. Don't go fast. Drop those shoulders. Yeah, with it. The goal is to have it at shoulder height. You notice I'm not going way up. I'm just keeping it pretty much at my shoulder height. See that? Take a big deep breath.
35.
Oh, okay. I was getting carried away, Kathy. I wanted to make the point. Big bang, big moves. The big bang for your buck on time frame, on really beneficial things. Some of them are little moves, some of them are pretty big moves. So I hope that this helped you understand the value of some of these moves. Okie dokie. Okay.